Hey guys, so this is my driver's license renewal nightmare story time. I'm currently filming inside because even though it's a nice day out, there's construction happening outside my apartment. When is there ever not construction happening outside apartment complexes? But yeah, so I'm in here. Also, makeup look. Today is St. Patrick's Day. Obviously this won't be up on St. Patrick's Day, but I'm going out with a friend later and I wanted to dress up because of the holiday. So that's why I have very green eyes and gold lips. If you want to know like exactly what I'm wearing or like how I did this makeup look, let me know and I can do that. I can tell you that for my eyes I used the Urban Decay Spectrum palette, like the very colorful one that was limited edition. I don't know if it's still available. But I used that one and I used all the greens and I used Gold Mine for my entire lid. And then for my lips I have the Kylie Cosmetics Lord Metal Matte, which was part of her limited edition birthday collection. But yeah, okay, so into the video. I have everything on my phone. I have receipts, I have screenshots. Everything that happened is 100% true. So, alright. So, I got my license when I was 17. I was going to get it when I was 16, but unfortunately I ended up breaking my foot, and that made practicing very difficult, and by the time I was healed it was winter time and I didn't want to take my license test in the winter, even though it's California and it really wasn't that bad, but I was a baby back then and I hadn't lived in Minnesota yet, so I decided to wait until the springtime after I turned 17, and that's when I got my license. And your license, I believe, expires every 4 years in California. And so it expired on my 21st birthday, and I had to get it renewed. I know in other states it's different. I know in Minnesota, like, it expires, like, no matter what on your 21st birthday, and then you have to, like, get it renewed and get, like, your adult license or whatever. But for mine, it was the provisional, which was the vertical, and then I had to get it horizontal, which is the adult, when I turned 21. So, I went to the DMV to get it renewed 3 days before my birthday. So my birthday's December 26th, so I went on December 23rd thinking, okay, so I'm gonna get it renewed. It's gonna take a couple of weeks. My mom or dad, whoever receives it, I think it was gonna be sent to my mom, would receive it and then mail it to me in Minnesota, and I'd have my license. And when I got it renewed, you know, I did all the paperwork. I got the paper that said, like, this is, you know, like, it's renewed, but this is the paper version until you get the new one in the mail, blah, blah, blah. And the process was honestly really easy. Like, I just, you know, showed up to the DMV at, like, 8 in the morning. Ew. And the whole process took maybe, like, after waiting for, like, an hour, I'd say the entire process took, like, 30 minutes, maybe 45. Also, I ended up messing up at one point. I put my mom's address, but I didn't put the apartment number, so I had, right as I was in line to take the picture, I had to go back and tell the clerk, like, wait, I need you to edit it because I didn't give you the apartment number. And she was like, crap, okay, I'll put it in, but it may not come with the apartment number, and then you'll have to get it again. And I was like, I'm stupid. Again, this is what happens when I do things at like 8 in the morning. My brain doesn't work. My brain doesn't work until like 2 in the afternoon. Anyways, so I get all that done. I have the paperwork, and I, you know, go back to my apartment, enjoy the rest of my winter break, go back to Minnesota, and I'm like, okay, cool. I will be receiving my license. They said anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, so I waited, or 4 to 8 weeks. So I waited my, you know, whatever time. And once that time period had passed, I was like, okay, this is weird. I haven't gotten my license yet. And like, the paper only lasts like 3 months. So if you don't, you know, like, if I didn't get my license by then I would not have a license, and I couldn't get one in Minnesota because it wouldn't make sense for me to have a Minnesota license when I was going to be moving back to California in another year, and you know, it didn't make sense, so I was just like, oh crap, where's my license? So, I asked my mom, like, hey, can you check the mail, like, every day, like, has it come yet, has it come yet, has it come yet? And she'd be like, no, 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 no. So eventually I was like, okay, something's wrong. So me being the person I am, when I get upset about things, I go on Twitter rants, and I tag companies because I'm that person. But companies listen when I do that. I've had so many issues where I just tweet like at the person or company, and then I get in contact with customer service and things work out. So what I did was I found out that the DMV had a Twitter. Also in California, it's the DMV. I know in other states it's like something else. Like in Minnesota, it's the DVS. Like, I don't know. But for us, it's the Department of Motor Vehicles, so DMV. So I tweet at California Motor Vehicles, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to get my license before, you know, I don't have a valid one. Let me find like the exact words I said. Again, I went through my email and took screenshots. So let me find it. And I will insert the screenshots here. So I tweeted on January 31st. So if my license from the California DMV would arrive by February 3rd, that would be great. I'd really like to have it before May since I'm in Minnesota until then. You know, because if I didn't get it, then I'd have to wait until May when I went home for the summer to go through this entire process again, and I did not want to do that, and I also didn't want to be without an ID at the age of 21 in college, because I wouldn't be able to go to any shows, I wouldn't be able to buy alcohol, I wouldn't be able to go to bars. Life would suck. So, tweeted. Then, they replied to my tweet, and they said, we would like to assist you. Please email your contact info to us at blah blah blah. And so I was like, cool. And I sent them an email. Now I need to find the email because there was a long chain. So I said, hello, I renewed, oh, and this was on February 1st. I said, hello, I renewed my license on December 23rd, 2015, 3 days before my 21st birthday at the Fremont DMV. I had to change my address and was told I would receive my license in 3 weeks. It's been almost 6, and the temporary license expires on February 20th. Unfortunately, I will not be back in California until May as I attend college in Minnesota. Here's my information. And then I sent them my license number, my old address, and my new address, and my full name. And then I said thank you, because I'm polite. And then they responded, please provide your phone number and we will forward your request to the issuance unit and have someone call you. Please note, callbacks from this unit are from a blocked number. So I was like, okay. And then another, like from a new email, they said, good morning. In review of your record, I found that the driver license was returned unclaimed by the post office. Is there someone at the new address to receive your card? You may want to contact the post office. So it wasn't the DMV who was screwing up, it was the post office. Again, can government agencies do anything right? Nah. So then I respond, hello, there should be someone at my address. It's an apartment, so all mail goes either into mailboxes or the leasing office. Would it be possible to mail the license directly to my address in Minnesota? I'm attending college there and won't be back in California until May. The California address is my mother's address and she lives there year-round. Thank you. And then they respond, unfortunately, due to new procedures, we are unable to follow through with your request. Just give your mom a call and let her know to watch for it. If you have not received it after 45 days, please let me know. I don't have 45 days. I had like 17. Like, okay. And also, they couldn't mail it to me in Minnesota because it's a state ID and it can't cross federal lines because that's like super illegal or something. I don't know. But I was very annoyed that they couldn't send it to me in Minnesota because I was like, that would fix everything. So here we go. And then I responded, sounds good, thank you. Just to verify, is the address on file my address or my mom's address? And then the person responds, correct, have a nice day. I'm like, okay. And then I respond, thank you, you too, thank you for your help. And they respond, you're welcome. So, you know, we're on good terms, you know. And then I didn't wait the full 45 days because I couldn't wait that long because then I wouldn't have my license. So I waited, I think, a week? Let's see here. No, I waited 2 weeks because we had our conversation through February 2nd. Then on February 19th, so literally 2 weeks later, I write, hello, this is the second time my post office has done this. Do you know which post office to contact? There are several in San Mateo. Thank you. So I called them and they told me that my license had been sent back again by the post office, and I was like, so I sent them an email. And then I guess like we were talking over the phone or something, because then I sent another email saying, hello, I just called the post office corresponding to my zip code, because in San Mateo we have 3 zip codes, and so there's like one post office for each one, and so I live in, one zip code, so I called that particular post office. And let me tell you. Okay, so I called like 15 minutes before close, which wasn't very nice on my part. I shouldn't have done that. But the phone just rang for like 10 minutes. And it's like, you close in 15 minutes. You're supposed to answer the phone until you close. Like, at least that's what I have to do at my jobs. Like, I have to answer my phone or I have to answer the phone until we close, because that's protocol. Like, if you don't do that, you're not doing your job. Like, but they didn't answer the phone because, again, people at the post office tend to be very incompetent. Not all of them, but most. So they didn't answer. And then I called again. Then I called again. And this time I called, like, I think I called when I had no class during the day, so I called, like, earlier in the day, like, right when they opened. Again, California, 2 hours behind Minnesota, so I didn't have to get up at an ungodly hour to call these people. And, someone answers. I tell them, like, hi, I renewed my license, and it won't get to me in the mail, and I would like it to get to me in the mail. And the woman who answered asks, are you checking the mail every day? Because if you don't check the mail every day, like, your mail piles up and then the postmaster takes it back. And I was like, yes. My mother is checking, like, I'm in college right now, so I can't check the mail, but my mom checks the mail every day, and we haven't gotten anything. And she was like, okay, what's your name? And I tell her, my name is Gabriela Castro. And she goes, her tone changed, by the way. And so she says, okay, well, the way things work around here is that you have to check the mail every day, or else the mail is sent back. I just told you my mom checks the mail every day. What do you mean, the way things work around here? I've lived in California all my life, minus the years I've been in Minnesota, but I still come to California every year. What do you mean, how it's done around here? Are you assuming that, before I gave you my name, you were treating me like whatever, like a customer. But now that I've given you my name, which is Hispanic sounding, you're gonna go ahead and assume that I'm not from here. I was born in Stanford, like at the Stanford Hospital, at one of the biggest universities in the country. I was born here in California. My parents weren't, but they both became legal citizens. Or, well, they came here legally and became citizens. I was born here. I'm from here. I know how things work. Now, I didn't say that on the phone, but I was sitting on the phone just like trying not to commit murder through the phone, because that would be hard. But I told her, my mom is checking the mail every day, and we haven't received anything. I'd like to know why my license keeps getting returned by your post office to the DMV, because I am under my mom's name to receive mail at her residence. We don't have the same last name, but she cleared it with the leasing office, and my license should be getting there. And she says, like, okay, well, what I can do is put a do not return notice on your license or on your mailbox, so like the next time you get something in your mail, which should be your license, it can't be sent back to us. And so I was like, okay, yeah, you do that. Thank you very much, because it should be getting to me and I don't understand why you guys keep returning it. And so she was like, okay, well, I'll do that and it should arrive, and if it doesn't, like, just let the DMV know. And I'm just sitting there like, the DMV isn't doing anything wrong. It's you, because you're clearly stupid and can't do anything right, you racist hoe. So I say, like, thank you so much, bye. And then I screamed for like 20 minutes about how stupid racist people are, and drowned my feelings in food, because that's what I do when I'm angry. So that happened. I'm so mad just thinking about, oh God, that made me so mad. But okay. So back to the emails with the DMV. So then I sent them an email saying, "Hello, I just called the post office corresponding to my zip code and was told they would put out an alert card to make sure it was delivered. Is there a way to get a tracking number on my license so I can let my mother know it has arrived? I was also told it would be undeliverable if the apartment number was not on the card, so I just wanted to verify the address on my license is blah blah blah. Thank you for your assistance." Another thing about the apartment number, when I was giving the lady on the phone, like with the post office, like the stupid she asked for my address and I gave her the apartment number, and then I accidentally gave her the apartment number of my St. Paul apartment because in St. Paul I lived on the second floor, and with my mom I lived on the second floor, so like they were, 200 something, and I accidentally gave my St. Paul one, and so then I said, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not this, it's actually this." And then this person has the audacity to go, "Oh, are you sure?" Like in that tone, and I'm like, "I'm gonna come to your post office and light you on fire and laugh as you burn." I mean, I didn't say that, but I really wanted to. But yeah, so I gave the right apartment number after trying not to scream at this thing. She's not a human anymore, she's a thing. And yeah, so I let the DMV know, and everything was working out. And then the DMV responded, "There is no tracking number, unfortunately. The post office should be looking for it within the end of this week or next." And that was on Monday, February 22nd. And I think like 3 or 4 days later, like I know by the end of the week, like by Friday, my mom sent me a picture and was like, "Look, it's your license." And I was like, thank God, because if I had to go through this one more time, I would have bought myself a ticket to California, gone to the post office, and screamed in this woman's face for a long time. And then I would have brought my dog, and I would have had him poop, and I would have taken his poop, and I would have thrown it in this woman's face. But yeah, I got the license. It arrived at the end of February, very conveniently, like right as my paper temporary license had expired. So I got it. It only took, almost it took about 2 months. Should have taken 3 weeks. But I got my license. I have it now. It doesn't expire until 2020, or my birthday on 2020, and I will be turning... So it expires on my 26th birthday. So I'm going to go to the post office... So I'm going to go to the DMV 3 days before my 26th birthday. And I'm going to make sure I give the right address. I do everything right. I'm going to even write it all out on a piece of paper and be like, do this in these exact steps. And I'm going to get my license. And if it doesn't arrive, I guess I'll have to make another story time in 3 years. But yeah. Let me know if you've ever had awful experiences with your local DMV, DVS, whatever it's called in your state or country. And bad experiences you've had with the post office, because I only like USPS and UPS and FedEx, and everyone else sucks. So, that's my story time. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you never have to go through something like this when getting your license, because it's a pain in the butt. And I will talk to you next time.